Do you think Villarreal, Ale, can continue to surprise against Liverpool here with what we've seen so far?
I think they're going to meet a team in Liverpool that is quite different to Bayern Munich, quite different to Juventus. Those teams allow Villarreal to get very comfortable behind the ball, to be very good defensively because of how slow their ball movement was and how predictable they became in the attack. I think Liverpool is a completely different team because their strength is how quickly they move the ball and how quickly is the movement of the ball from the players up top and the rotations of some of these players, how direct they can be. If Villarreal is allowed to settle behind the ball and sit back and organize themselves, then they'll be difficult. But Liverpool gets out in transition, gets enough speed in front of the ball, enough movement in front of the ball that I think is going to be very difficult for Villarreal to close down those spaces.
They're dangerous, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they've got the players there. It's whether it's
I mean, they've been up and down. There's a reason they're where they are in La Liga because they've just not been quite consistent enough. But I've seen them on many occasions. Just they'll play out from the back, they'll take chances, and sometimes they'll press. But I'll be all at the back, you know, knocking on a bit now. Can he handle the pace of Liverpool? But that was a big statement putting Bayern Munich out. You know, they put Juventus out. That's more, I think that's more a name thing. Juventus are not a great team at the moment, but Bayern Munich are maybe not as strong as they were, but they're still a very good team. However, as Ali said, this is another step up. But they're a dangerous side. They've got a manager who's got great history in European competition in the last 10 years or so in Unai Emery. So it would be a shock, I think, over two legs. But I think Liverpool should have enough, particularly this front three. It's probably going to be Diaz, Mane and Salah.
Yeah, well, take your pick with the front three.
Well,
right?
I think that would be my front three. And I think that's just going to be a bit too hot to handle.
Well, the one thing that we do know is that Jurgen Klopp is not underestimating the opponent, which is something that we have seen before when it's come to getting drawn against Villarreal.
Well, who?
Yeah, some of the higher-ups at Bayern had a bit of a giggle about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is what Jurgen Klopp said. He says, "We've properly analysed Villarreal. I have proper respect for Unai Emery and them. I watched them properly and wow, impressive. He is a detail-obsessed manager, different ways to press and react to different results." If there are any areas that Liverpool need to be aware of, Nedum, where do you think there would be?
I think that's a good question because for me, this matchup itself, as the guys have been alluding to, I think for as direct as Liverpool can be in the sort of tempo and that energy, you know, that can really force a team to be back. But I think with Liverpool, as is the case with other teams in the competition, like they will offer you a few opportunities, and it's a case of can you take those. But I think for Villarreal, it is about sort of trying to soak up that pressure and making sure that when you do sort of go out there, you time it right and you are clinical. But like I say, you know, the odds are like that for a reason because Liverpool, you know, they're challenging for a Premier League title as Villarreal. Looks like they might not make the top four in La Liga this year. So it is a completely different situation. But yeah, Villarreal, they're a good side. You know, they didn't arrive in the semi-finals by accident, so they are capable of scoring. But I think for this tie here, it feels like they'd have to score at least 2-3 goals to really be in with a chance. Because for Liverpool, I just don't see them not scoring multiple goals potentially in both games. And I suppose the biggest positive of all, really, is the fact that they're playing at Anfield first. Because whatever the scoreline would be in the first game, if the second leg was going to be at Anfield, you know, historically you see that Liverpool are very, very good there. So I guess it's just a case of seeing what you can get from Anfield tomorrow. And then hopefully taking something back to your own fans and maybe getting a bit of momentum in that game. But like I say, I think they'll need to score multiple goals to be in with a chance.
I mean, it is one thing Jurgen Klopp saying that, saying we're not underestimating them. But, you know, you can't speak for all of the players there. You may look at that tie if you're a Liverpool player right now and think that it is more favourable. How important is it to not underestimate your opponent?
Absolutely is first and foremost for Liverpool in that you are able to get past that mental hurdle of looking at Villarreal and saying, we got this is done, game over, game, set, match, we're Liverpool, we're going to show up, we're going to win. Because that's pretty much the approach that Bayern Munich took, and, well, they're out. They're drinking their beers from winning the Bundesliga, but not from winning Champions League. The issue is, though, while Jurgen Klopp can say this in a press conference, it's undeniable that the other three teams that are involved in the semifinals would not have wanted to play who? Villarreal. This is a team that everybody wanted to play. You think Manchester City wouldn't rather play Villarreal than Real Madrid, or Real Madrid wouldn't want to play Villarreal instead of Manchester City? Of course. This is the weaker team of the four that are available. So in that sense, you think, well, Liverpool should not overlook Villarreal, right? Easier said than done. So the first few minutes for Liverpool are going to be really important. If they are really on the front foot, if they're really pressuring Villarreal, if you don't allow Villarreal to settle into the game, if you don't allow Dani Parejo to just knock the ball around, a guy that can barely move defensively, force him to move, force him to defend, and do the same thing with Albiol as well. Guys that have difficulties getting around the field, force them to defend in space, and that's when Liverpool will be successful.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.